Well, it wasn't too great of a day now, was it, guys? Cheers to that. We had the S&P 500 go down 1%. The Qs went down, let's see, one and a quarter as the Dow went down 1.7%. Bitcoin down 5%, and the Russell went down 1.6 as silver's up 7%. Excuse me, guys. The VIX went up over 10% and gold up 3%. So, talk about a red day, guys. Talk about a rough way to start the week. So, in this video, we're going to break down a bunch of charts, what I'm doing, stocks I'm buying, and we have earnings to talk about. We have Hims and Hers, Domino's Pizza. I know you guys like your Domino's, Kratos Defense, a couple energy companies. So, yeah, let's just dive into it. Hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. I think 50% of you watch the content here on YouTube and you're not subscribing. So if that's you, make sure to subscribe. And if you're watching on Facebook, I appreciate you guys as well. Make sure to hit that follow button and let's get into it. Again, cheers. I appreciate you guys. So right now, we had a rough day. The market just closed about 30 minutes ago and earnings are rolling out. We'll see how those look in a second. But first, let me show you the destruction that was today's trading session. So a lot of the red came this morning. SPY fell off a cliff, and in the first really hour and a half of trading, we went from roughly 690 all the way down to 680. That was a 1.3% drop, and then we coasted there for the rest of the day, pretty much at about 680. 682, and we closed pretty flat, I guess you can say. We consolidated for a good chunk of the day, and again, we had a $7 red day to be exact, and the Qs went down a good chunk, same as SPY in the beginning of the day. Then we coasted for the rest of the day for a good chunk here, pretty much holding 600 as support, and we closed at 601, down 1.25%. And really, guys, nothing is really changing on these charts. We covered the wedge on the Qs here and on SPY. We're still in a wedge on both of these on the 1 hour chart. What direction are we going to pick? That's the $1,000,000 question. And at this point, man, it's looking like we did put in a bottom potentially here as we again consolidated for a good chunk of the day. But will this follow up with a rebound? I mean, in this market, yeah, I mean, it easily could. I wouldn't be surprised, but we're not fully breaking out yet, so keep that in mind, and we'll cover that, again, in real time. We'll break down how it plays out, but at this point, man, the market just keeps on getting hit. It's whipsawing back and forth, up and down, and it's pretty unpredictable, but long term, we know what the market does. It goes up, right? Long term. I think, there's a stat. If you held the S&P over 20 years, no matter what time period, you pick any time period over the last 100 years that you held the S&P 500, you're making money. At least, or if you held it at least 20 years. I'm sure some of you have heard of that stat, and obviously the lower time period, let's say, you held for 5 years. The point is, the longer you hold, the higher chances that you're going to make money if you're holding the S&P over the last 100 years, based on that stat I saw. I think I read that in a book. I got to look back here. I have all my books behind me. Some of them at least. But anyway, man, at this point, it's been doing the same thing for weeks, months. It's been flat, really. SPY has since October. And, it's all coming down to NVIDIA's earnings come Wednesday. And speaking of earnings, let's break down a couple here. We have Hims and Hers, and I didn't look at any of these. So let's see how we're doing here. Live reaction, guys. And I'm scared to look at Hims and Hers. I really am. I don't own it, but with how volatile it's been, holy smokes. Let's see here. HIMS. Hims and Hers is, let's see, it closed down 0.75%, and it's going down even more. Yikes. It hit $14, not too bad. I guess that was a drop of 10%. So initially it went down to 14. Now it's rebounded a bit to 15.25. So it's down about 2%, if that. But still, the fact that we went down even more initially as earnings came out, that can't be good. So Hims and Hers reported Q4 EPS of 8 cents versus 3 cents expected on sales of $617 million versus $619.2 roughly. So they missed revenue rather, beat EPS, and they see full year 26 sales of 2.7 to 2.9 billion versus 2.74 billion. So pretty good guidance for full year 26, and for Q1 sales, they're soft, $600 to $625 million. There you go, versus $653. So that's a big reason probably why we're down a little bit after the print. Subscribers crossed 2.5 million. That's a key milestone there for the company. But man, this is clearly not enough to drag the stock, at least now, out of the gutter, out of the downtrend that it's been in for months. And like I said months ago, I'm avoiding Hims and Hers. I said that in the last video here recently, and I'm saying it again now. I'm not a big fan of it, but hey, they just reported numbers, and they're okay. Guidance is okay. For Q1, it's bad, but for full year, it's pretty good. But still, with the regulatory scrutiny, they're going after these big healthcare companies. They're getting sued. I don't trust the management team. For me, it's like, it's a stock that I'm avoiding. Domino's Pizza, let's pull this up and see what's going on. Ticker DPZ. This company reported earnings this morning, and their stock went up 4% on the day. Talk about a beautiful day for Domino's Pizza. And is Domino's Pizza part of the anti-AI trade, anti-tech trade? It might be. You can't really replicate pizza with artificial intelligence, I guess not yet. Maybe they'll have a bunch of eventually they're going to have a bunch of robots making the pizza. That's coming. Maybe not next year or the year after, but you bet these companies are going to use physical AI, in other words, in the form of robots to fulfill all these orders and make the pizzas. And that's coming in the future. But, at this point, 4%, not bad. It looks like money's coming in here, again, as the anti-AI trade is playing out. But, yeah, I think overall it's hard. You can't replicate pizza, right? AI can't do it, which is why these stocks are going up. So, well, I'm joking, half joking here, but serious at the same time. $5.35 EPS, guys. That missed the $5.39 expected, but revenue beat $1.53 billion, quite the difference, versus $1.52 billion. So they beat revenue, missed EPS. Looks like here, anything on guidance, they raised their dividend, which is nice, 15%. Oh, wow, to $1.99. That's very nice. U.S. same-store sales growth of 3.7%. International same-store sales of 1.9%. Pretty good. So let's see. Yeah, the mixed earnings. Looks like the market doesn't care. Again, Domino's has been downtrending, and the entire market is, I'm not necessarily doing this, but money's going out of these tech names into more, defensive names, practical or physical location type, stocks, right? Consumer staples, companies that sell physical products, Domino's fits that category, so I'm not surprised we're going up here. Let's see Kratos Defense, KTOS. We can see this went down 2% on the day. Earnings just came out, I believe, after hours. Yes. They reported earnings per share of, let's see here, guys. Where the heck are these numbers? Or did they come out in the morning? No, they just came out. Yeah, adjusted EPS 18 cents versus 16 cents expected on sales of $345 million versus $327 million. So double beat for Kratos Defense. And they see Q1 sales of $335 million to $345 million versus $347 million expected. That's for Q1 sales. That's a bit soft, the guidance. But we can see here they see full year 26 sales. Let's see, 1.59 to 1.67 billion versus 1.6 billion. So that's pretty good for the full year. So weak Q1 guidance, but good full year guidance out of Kratos Defense. And I'm not loving the price action. I'll be honest here after the bell. It is down a little bit, about $4 on top of it being down $2 during the day. So we're slipping a little bit, not the best sign. So I'm looking to see if it can kind of find support right around here, 90, 92 a share. Let's see if this inverse head and shoulders potentially starts to play out. We get momentum back to 100 at 105. So I like the way potentially it could shape up. But the after hours price action has me a little wary right now as potentially considering a trade. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Dominion Energy. And by the way, guys, if you haven't yet, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Hit the follow button. I appreciate all of your support as always. The crazy thing is we're almost at 100,000 followers on a bunch of these platforms, right? On Facebook, on YouTube, on what's the other one? Instagram. So I appreciate all the support. It's been crazy, the growth over the last, year or 2 years here. And yeah, I think this year, my goal is to get to 100,000 on all these platforms and continue to go on from there. And I can't do it without you guys. And again, I appreciate you all as always. Hit that follow button, man. Cheers to all you watching out there. So Dominion Energy, hold on a second. Let me actually get some of this coffee. Wait a second. This is my second double espresso of the day. Guys, it's been a busy day. A lot's been going on my end here. So Dominion Energy, they reported earnings. Their stock is now, looks like it went down 2.5%. Their numbers were this morning, so a lot of you probably saw them already. Q4 adjusted EPS, 68 cents. That beat the 67-cent estimate. Looks like here sales destroyed. Yes, see that there we go. That's right, 4.09 versus $3.65 billion. So they crushed sales, beat EPS. They see full year adjusted EPS of $3.45 to $3.69 versus $3.60. Not bad. Let's see anything else. Nothing really worth mentioning. But yeah, man, not bad earnings. The stock went down a little bit, but look, it's been ripping for weeks. And if anything, this is opening up an entry point. If Dominion Energy can get down even another $1 or $2, I think buyers are going to come in big time, right around this moving average, 62, 63 a share. I see it happening personally. And I'm bullish energy. I called it out. I called XLE out weeks ago, right? At 45 a share. You guys know that. I called this thing out. It might have been 43 to 44 a share. It was in this window right here, literally. And we've been ripping since. So I've been bullish. We called it out. And these are opening up for entry points, in my opinion. These as in Dominion Energy and FANG potentially here. Look at this. Diamondback Energy is falling after the bell. And what this is telling me, guys, is energy stocks are hot right now, and they might have gotten a little too ahead of themselves into earnings. This is what this is telling me. These stocks are pulling back, both of these, and the uptrends are still intact. It's not like we're collapsing, but we're seeing healthy pullbacks on pretty good earnings. That's a good sign. That's actually opening up, like I said, potentially an entry point here. Do your own research as always. So Diamondback Energy, the stock hit 177. Looks like, well, that was the high. Now we're down to 169 in the after hours. We hit 163 at the lowest point. So Diamondback Energy reported $1.74 adjusted EPS versus $2.08, so that's a pretty bad miss. But sales beat $3.37 billion versus $3.3 billion, so mixed earnings there on the headline numbers. Anything on guidance? Looks like they recorded a $3.7 billion non-cash impairment charge, lowering net income. Okay, that explains that. Looks like they're increasing their share repurchase authorization by $1 billion. Approximately $1.2 billion remains under the repurchase program. So yeah, I mean, look, these earnings are not bad. pretty good. Slight miss in EPS, whatever. Bringing the stock down again, opening up potentially an entry point. So I'm excited about these. And XLE is the one that I mainly own in the energy space, like I've said before. So I'm eyeing this up to potentially buy more, maybe on the dip. We'll see if it does dip. I mean, there's so much momentum here. It looks like every time it dips, fresh money comes in, buys the dip, keeps it going. Clearly, as energy's been a dominating sector here year to date. So XLE, watch it. These energy names, watch them. And for me, I almost forgot to mention, guys, we're in here 15 minutes, almost forgot to mention, I added more Amazon today. So the big tech stock that I've been hammering all year has been Amazon, right? AMZN. So I bought some more at 204.50, I think, roughly, right in that ballpark. And this is what I'm seeing on the charts. We have an inverse head and shoulders, clear as day. We have 210 that was support for a long time, many months. We broke through it. Now it's resistance. I think if this inverse head and shoulders plays out, boom, we're going right back over 210 pretty soon here, which is why I've been aggressively buying Amazon during this weakness in tech. As the stock's been tanking, I think it's an overreaction. Genuinely, I think Amazon long term is going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of, one of the companies that really uses AI in the physical form to the fullest capability. I think Amazon it's underappreciated, or it's estimated, right? I can't even think of the word. Underestimated how much AI in the physical form is going to impact the efficiency at Amazon and so forth, like we've been talking about for a while. And I've been just smashing the buy button on Amazon, and it's really the only one that I've been focusing on this year out of big tech for months now, really. I mean, end of last year too. So Amazon, I bought some more. And at this point, what else am I looking to buy? MercadoLibre, their earnings are coming out, I think. They're tomorrow, right? But I think I saw an article. It came out yesterday saying, "Oh, MercadoLibre's earnings are tomorrow." They were wrong. But MercadoLibre went down almost 7% today, which you should not be surprised if you're watching this video. I'm not surprised as a shareholder here, which is why I held off buying more. The chart was clear. The chart was telling us more downsides coming. And I told you guys, the descending triangle, 1850, 1900 is not looking too hot right now as a support. We're falling through it. And then boom, today the floor fell through it. And, we're filling that gap slowly down to about 1700 on MercadoLibre. And listen, if we somehow get a flash crash on the stock, not calling for that, but we have earnings tomorrow, and in this market, anything's possible. If this somehow goes lower, let's say it goes to 1600, I'm going to have some cash ready to buy a bunch there. And that's kind of what I've been eyeing up over the last couple of weeks. And that's what I've been saying in these videos, and that's what I'm holding off for on the stock. So I bought, my basis is like 2,000. It's not a big position by any means. I've been slowly adding into it, and in these, 15 to 1,700 levels, I'm looking to add a bunch more, and that's where I'm really looking to build it out. So I'm going to wrap up the video here, guys. We're in 20 minutes. We're rambling a little bit now, so good spot to end it. Hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you want to keep up with what I'm actually doing in my portfolio in real time, we post updates there every week. There's a private Discord. That's all on Patreon. Link down below, pinned in the comments as well, or go to stocksurfs.com/Patreon. And look, the first tier is only $10 a month. The second tier is $20 a month. It's worth it for the value. Check it out if you're interested. Again, you know where the link is. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you all in the next video.